video, we are going to talk about how you can incorporate strategies into your regular reading time that help your child build phonological awareness. So we've already talked about how singing encourages phonological awareness. So even if it's a song not related to a book, singing helps kids to understand language because when we sing, we are slowing down language. We are helping them understand words better by repeating them more slowly. Also, we're helping them to understand the concept of syllables because when we're singing, each syllable has a different note. Now, one tip I have for you when you're singing to your child is do not try to sound good. So first of all, if you don't sound good, embrace it. It's okay not to sound good. We're trying to have fun and engage our child in a language building activity. But it's more than that. It's better for you not to sound good. When we hear someone who sounds good at singing, it feels like a performance. We just want to sit and listen. But if someone's just having fun, being silly, we want to join in and have fun too. So by not trying to sound good, you're actually encouraging your child to jump in and have fun with you and practice those good skills. One easy way to incorporate songs into your regular reading routine is to have a song in the beginning and the end of your time together. So when I do story times, I often like to start with a specific song with the kids. Sometimes I'll mix it up, but it's nice when the kids know the song so they know how to join in. It encourages them, it gets them stomping and clapping and repeating the words. So try to build up a repertoire of different songs. I also like to end story times with another song. There are a lot of good opening and closing songs for story time online. I also have some in the packet, and I will share with you on a video on Wednesday some of my favorite story time songs and rhymes. Another great way is to look up songs that go with the theme of the story that you're reading and sing it with them then or later. Singing is always good. But another fun way to incorporate song into your reading time is to actually pick a book that's based on a song. So what you can do is have a book that has a song and then you can either sing it together instead of reading, or you could trace the words of the text as a song plays from perhaps a YouTube video. One good example is Pete the Cat, Old MacDonald Had a Farm by James Dean. So in those sorts of books, you will just have the lyrics for the song on the pages instead of your typical story words, but you'll still have those pictures that help explain the song. So as we've discussed, rhymes, just like songs, are a great way to get kids to build phonological awareness. Because they're rhyming, they are acknowledging parts of speech. They're acknowledging that some parts match, that's the rhyme, but then they have unique parts in the beginning. That's what makes them separate words. So we want to be using rhymes. Like I said, in the next video, I'll teach you some rhymes I like for opening and closing or just having fun with story times with your kids. But you can also pick books that incorporate rhymes. So a lot of children's books incorporate rhymes. For one, they're fun, but two, publishers know you want to build early literacy skills. They want to make books that are developmentally appropriate. So find some books that have rhymes, or just pick out whatever book you want, and if it does have a rhyme, make sure you're pointing that out and really emphasizing it for your child. So if I come across a rhyme in a book, I like to point them out to children. So I'll have the book, we'll have the rhyme, and you really want to slow down that section, really draw it out. So if I say, they saw a cat, he was very fat. Which two words rhymed? We have cat and fat. Can you kids say that? Cat, fat. We can practice it together, point out the rhymes, have them repeat them, so you're really getting it to click with that phonological awareness. Now, one thing we talked about in our games and activities video is clapping out or playing instruments for syllables. So that's something you can incorporate into your reading time. I particularly like it when I come across a new word for a child. So say you are reading about a tornado and you haven't really read about tornadoes with your child before. You could come across a tornado, you could say a tornado. Maybe you'll explain it and then you say, can you say tornado? Clap it out with me. tornado. Another thing you can do is that same thing, but ask them to count the claps. You can count the claps together. I think another good word would be orangutan. Say you're reading a book about zoo animals. You could say orangutan. You have some good words. You're really helping build not only their phonological awareness, but their vocabulary. Similar to the rhymes, another good strategy is to stretch words out very slowly. So part of what we like about music is that it really does slow down those sounds so we can understand the parts of language. Well, we get some of that same benefit by just stretching out words normally. So if I'm reading a book about different cute animals and I read about an axolotl, I could say, oh, and he had an axolotl. Or I could say, and he had an axolotl. You're getting them to really understand those parts of the word. But if you want to take it further and make it more fun, you could take any sentence. It doesn't need to be a new vocabulary word. Yeah, it could be a word, a sentence. Say it really slowly. Maybe you want to repeat your sentence first and then say it really slowly. So I have this page beneath me of all these different early literacy tips, and I could say stretch out sounds, and I could say, okay, now listen carefully and then repeat back to me what I said, but say it nice and fast. Are you ready? Stretch out sounds. So then they have to guess what you say. You might have to repeat it more than once, but it's fun. They'll probably giggle. But most importantly, well, having fun's always important. But importantly, they are really getting a whole lot of emphasis on what sounds are within that word. So when we say sounds really quickly, we're sort of getting what sounds are in sounds. But when we say sounds, we're really getting to hear that S, that ow of the O and the U, the N, the D, and the S. We're not missing any of the sounds by saying it quickly. Your child's really going to hear that, and you can have fun together while doing it. My final fun little reading strategy tip I have is to play I Spy with your child on the page. When I'm reading with a child, I always love to have them look for different things in the background of pictures. Kids love to find, especially in books with animals, to find all sorts of animals on the page, all sorts of flowers. Kids love to point things out in pages. And one way you can engage that natural curiosity with building phonological awareness is to have them play I Spy with you. And what you'll do is say, I spy something that starts with a, and then put a beginning sound for a word. Or you could put an ending sound. So I'd say, I spy something that starts with a T. So maybe you're in a forest on the page and you want them to point out a tree. Or I spy something that starts with the B sound. Maybe it's a bird or a bear. And this is a great way to get them to acknowledge those parts of sounds and try to play a game with it, have fun, and really build those phonological awareness skills together. So I hope you maybe learned a new strategy in this video, and if you stay tuned and subscribe to our channel, later this week I'll be uploading the last video in this month's series on phonological awareness, where I'll be sharing some of my favorite rhymes and songs with you. Have a great week.